Hello, everybody. Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays to all. Well, Santa Claus is coming to town, and tonight we're going to pretend to be Santa Claus at Walt Disney World, and we're going to talk about things we'd like to see Disney bring us as gifts, whether it be attractions, shows, or dining. So, anybody have any thoughts of what they'd like to see? What would be something Disney could do to make it a really magical Christmas for everybody, even if it means not being done for 6 months? Something that's not on the project list that we know of that you'd want to see.
My wife mentioned if you're staying for 3 days, it might be nice to get the 4th day of dining for free. Of course, they're probably going to want you on the dining plan for that, but.
Yep. Or maybe, start a dining plan where, because they're making so much money off that dining plan. Why not? If you get the dining plan for a certain number of days, get 1 day free, or even a meal free.
Oh, yeah. Free food! Wow,
free food. Yeah,
that's something Disney will jump on.
Yeah, I know. Something people don't understand though, when you get a free dining plan, you're paying rack rates for the room. The discounts for the rooms go away.
Correct. You'd be better off paying the discounts.
Yeah.
So you're not going to eat all that food.
That's right. You're not. So, it's a great thing for Disney because they know people are going to jump on that free dining and pay those rack rates. What about attractions? Anybody have any ideas of attractions they'd like to see come, or types of attractions, themes?
Well, something that I'd like to see as a Christmas present is a promise that was taken away from us. And that is the Mary Poppins attraction in Epcot. We had all of those grand plans for Epcot, and then that was one that they took a backward step on. So I would love to see a Mary Poppins attraction that is more than just a meet and greet. To have a full-fledged attraction.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that just kind of quietly disappeared from their map. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they kind of said, "Well, we're not going to do it now." So,
but we'll keep it on the board. Someday it'll get made.
Like Beastly Kingdom, that was on the board for years.
Till Pandora came along.
Yeah. Well, I think Pandora was the right choice, although I think Beastly Kingdom would have been pretty darn awesome too. Something I'd like to see them do, and I know it won't happen in Disney's Hollywood Studios because that area is pretty much gone. But how about bringing the Osborne lights to even the Magic Kingdom?
That is one of my big Christmas gifts and like you say, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If it would be in Galaxy's Edge or World Showcase or someplace in Magic Kingdom.
New Fantasyland. You got the perfect tunnel through there for New Fantasyland.
You do. Also, even it's kind of, I was going to say in Epcot, but it would have to be in Future World. But Future World, and I don't mean to say this in a negative way when I say it's a wreck. It's a wreck because they're doing great things.
Well, think about it though. With that being said, they've got all those walls up that there's nothing on them except for the little photo opportunities. Yeah, layer those things in lights.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. That'd be great.
Or put up those fake buildings.
Yeah, turn them in the what do they call those?
I don't know.
The faux props.
Some of those still exist. Going past Muppets to Galaxy's Edge, don't they?
Yeah, there's one wall.
Yeah.
How about, before we get to, I know everybody's going to want to jump on the dining bandwagon, but before we get to the dining, and types of restaurants. Anybody have any idea for a show that they'd like to see Disney bring in?
Somewhere in storage is everything for the Country Bear Christmas show. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Why not?
I miss that.
Yeah, me too. You know what I'd like to see them do? I'd like to see them bring the Frozen show that is playing at the Hyperion Theater in Disneyland. I'd like to see them bring that east to Walt Disney World. That is a fun. Actually, that's going to wind up on Broadway someday. I'm convinced of it. But that is a phenomenal show out at Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, they have a version of that on the Disney cruise ship, don't they? One of the Disney.
Yeah, I think they do. I think it's a smaller version of it, but
right.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
Well, what I had on my list was the theater they were going to build behind Main Street.
Tony's? Yeah,
behind Tony's Town Square. Correct. Mm-hmm. They have that back road in that they use sometimes to get guests out of the park. But if they had that theater there, and then they could bring Frozen or some other high quality show like they've had at the Hyperion out at Disneyland. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's the one thing Magic Kingdom is missing. It's a nice stage show, which could take a lot of guests away from some of the attractions, put them in one spot while, it'll alleviate some of the crowds during the day while the shows are going on.
Right. They've shown in Disneyland that it's a big attractor and people will fill all the shows and they'll queue up and wait for the show. So you could be there a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour waiting for the next show. Now you're not spending money while you're doing that, but
they could have a shop on the that you go through either on the way in or way out where they could sell T-shirts for the show and other things. Can't think of anything offhand, but I'm sure they've done their marketing on it though, which is probably why it hasn't been built yet.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything before, like I said, before we get to the dining, any other thoughts on anything else, other attractions?
Any updates on the Tron Light Cycle attraction and why it's taken as long as it is?
They're testing now.
Are they testing?
Yeah.
Because they didn't even announce.
Oh, no, that was the other one.
That was Cosmic Rewind.
That was Cosmic Rewind. That's right.
Yeah. They didn't announce that it would be opening in 2022 either.
They have not.
I did hear
zero announcements about that.
I thought I heard it was opening in 2022, but not.
No, not from Disney. They have been mum on that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I can think. I'd love to see a Marvel attraction come in, but something based not on anything that we know. Like take an obscure Marvel character that doesn't even have a movie out and make an attraction out of it. But I don't know. I haven't given enough thought to know like what kind of attraction. Yeah. It would depend on the character they would pick.
Well, what makes you wish for that for a Christmas gift? What makes you wish for an attraction based on a character you don't know yet?
Because for once, I'd like to see an attraction come through at Disney that's not based on a movie that they can eventually build up through the attraction.
Then they're not going to use
I don't want to say
Marvel.
it's always a movie that becomes an attraction. Because it's not. There have been attractions that have become movies, like the Jungle Cruise.
But they're not. Well, Pirates of the Caribbean, but they're not going to do that with the Marvel character because if it doesn't, they want to make sure they're going to get the people flowing through there.
Yeah, I know.
And if it doesn't flow through, then you just wasted
millions,
$500 million on an attraction that people aren't going to be interested in. Right. Let me introduce you to California Adventure.
Well, and that wouldn't be good for the guests.
Right.
So if you bring out a character, and I think it's a little difficult. You certainly could connect with a character through an attraction, but that's just a big challenge. And not that movies aren't expensive to make too. So
now, would I be saying this if I didn't live in Florida where I could go and explore the attraction? Probably not. But it's just something I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not a good idea.
Well, right. It's not definitely the opposite of the approach that Disney's taking
Yes,
currently.
absolutely, and rightfully so.
Well, instead of expanding on the Marvel, could they expand more on Star Wars?
I think they could, but where? It's kind of a tight squeeze right now in Star Wars land and Galaxy's Edge. Like, what would you take out to put in?
Not even in that park, in another park somewhere. Is there something that we could install? I mean,
you know what? I don't know that they would do that, and I only say that because it's not a Disney-owned property.
Disney owns Lucasfilms.
What I'm sorry, what are you saying is not a Disney property?
Star Wars. Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Disney bought them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lucasfilm is
episode 7, 8, 9.
I thought it was just an agreement to. I thought it was a licensing agreement.
No.
Oh my god.
No, that's why you got all the
George
trolls
Lucas
online
is a rich
saying that
man.
they ruined it. Yeah. Yeah, they all talk about how they ruined the Star Wars.
I forgot to take my senility pills today.
There you go. Even Bernie's back there going, dude, I knew about that. Look at him back there. Oh.
Wow. Oh well. Shame on me.
How dare you? How about if they did something different with Indiana Jones?
That I'd love to see. I think it's time. I know it's coming back after a long hiatus, but I think it's time to change that show. Not necessarily to change it from Indiana Jones, but to just change it to something
newer,
more techie, I think.
It's based off of the very first
Indiana
Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. What if you expand on that somehow so it's more, where even if it's just an adventure we've never seen before, kind of like the what is it, the Legend of whatever they call it thing out in Disneyland, the Forbidden Eye,
Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
Yeah.
So it could be even something like that that's different. It's a new adventure.
Yep.
Not, I mean, it's just stale now because it's.
I think aren't they doing another Raiders movie?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're working on it right now.
Yeah. So why not take something from that and put it into the attraction?
You could have a really old stuntman out there like Indy. Come on.
Now. Let's leave us poor old folks alone.
Hey, I'm trying to get the old stuntman back in the work again.
Yeah.
Well, and he's got us well beat.
Yeah, by a lot. There's something about old age that prevents you from moving that quickly.
Oh,
your reflexes aren't what they once were.
That's
not to say some people can't do it, some can. And then there are others like me. It's like getting out of bed in the morning's an adventure. No, I'm kidding.
Just the joints don't move as quickly, or
no, they don't.
Flexibility's just not there anymore. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I know.
It's funny. I remember when they were filming The Last Crusade, and they were saying, Harrison Ford's 45 years old, and he's doing these tough stunts, and now they're bringing him back 30 years later.
Yep. That's why Daniel Craig said, "This is it. I'm done with the James Bond movies." He goes, I can't do it forever. I just can't do it. These stunts are it's too hard on your body.
All right, quickly. Your favorite James Bond of all time?
Oh, Sean Connery.
Oh, actor. Okay.
Yeah, actor.
Okay.
Followed closely by Roger Moore.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, that's what I kind of grew up with, were those movies.
Sean Connery was like
the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be, because of Sean Connery, I wanted to be James Bond when I grew up.
Well, while we're
more along the line, James Bond said no.
Yeah, while we're so sidetracked there, best James Bond theme song.
Goldfinger.
John?
Oh my!
That was my favorite.
I don't have one.
Live and Let Die.
Nah, I'd still go with Goldfinger.
Live and Let Die.
For Your Eyes Only. Sheena Easton.
Ooh.
I don't know. But what's funny about Live and Let Die? I remember hearing that at the community pool when I was in grade school, and I thought they were singing Little Red Dime.
Yeah. I saw Paul McCartney and Wings perform in concert, and they played that song. But the thing that stood out to me during that concert was Linda McCartney you could hear her vocals, and she was off key.
Oh, they had microphones that would zoom in on her, and I'm so glad Paul had his loving wife on stage with him, and he got close bond with it and got to perform with her. But when they focused that microphone in on her specifically, she did not sound good.
No.
Okay, back on track.
Yes.
Back to Disney.
What were we talking about again? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So back on track. As for actual Disney, something Disney could do better. Well, they are luckily redoing Fantasmic. They're taking scenes out. I have a feeling we're going to be saying goodbye to Pocahontas. See ya. And they're going to get a whole new center.
Yeah, I haven't heard what's coming out, but I did hear what was coming in. I can't remember now. For some reason, Coco sounds familiar, but I could be very wrong about that.
Well, they have so many contemporary, up-to-date movies now that they have between Walt Disney World animation, or Walt Disney Animation, and Pixar that they could use. So they're behind the times with that show.
The problem though is you could update it tomorrow, and a year from now it could be outdated already.
Well, that's true, but you could also have a more balanced.
Yes,
exactly.
That's what they need to do, and I think that's probably what they're working on. Getting away from the parks for a second, not off topic, but not really off topic. What Disney needs, and what I'd like to see them do, is find another Howard Ashman to come out with some more great animated films. Not that the films that are coming out aren't great, but there was something about his era and the things he did for Disney that just haven't been repeated in years.
He was a great storyteller.
He was, absolutely.
Oh, it's like the Sherman Brothers. They were storytellers.
Right.
Not just songwriters, but storytellers.
So basically, what I'm saying, they need to find a generational talent and put them to work. So.
They've got some very beloved stories without him. But you're talking about somebody that is more involved in a series of shows, of movies and sets of characters and different stories.
Yeah, that's hard though.
Yeah.
But back to the parks.
I have something, and I don't know if this, it very well could fit into Hollywood Studios, but to see them do something more with the Muppets.
That was
one of mine. It doesn't have to be the existing show, but a restaurant with the Muppets. A restaurant themed against the Muppets, or another attraction. Put something else in there, and I know Disney's trying different things to try to make the Muppets more relevant. I loved the Muppet Halloween special this year, the Haunted Mansion. That was gold, and I'm glad to see that seemed to be successful.
Pizza Rizzo's isn't working for you?
Oh, well, I'm fine with Pizza Rizzo, but it doesn't celebrate the Muppets. It's kind of a fringe thing.
Well, since it's tight in that corner, what about doing something with Mama Melrose's, retheming that Muppet wise? It's there.
Yeah, they could.
Just don't get rid of the snowman. That's our picture spot. That snowman's got to stay.
They could. They could, yeah, they could make it a Muppet themed restaurant. I'd love to see, but what I'd like to see with the Muppets, and this was on my list, was to take something similar to, like, take a cross between Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and do a Muppet themed attraction
That
like
would
that.
be awesome.
Yeah, I think for them to do that, they really have to commit to the franchise, to the product, and then so they need to have the crossover with movies or Disney Plus, and as well as merchandising. So it all has to fit together in a synergy, I think, for it to work for Disney.
And I think the difficulty with that is they came out with a new Muppet movie some years ago. I don't know how many years ago. And it was good. It was very good. But I don't know how well it did in the box office. I don't know if it met their
I think the first one did well, but the second one really trailed off.
Yeah. And I think they need to find that sustainability with it to make it worth their while to do something more with the Muppets.
Right. And then they had the ABC show, the Muppets, but I think it started out fairly strong, but it just started trailing, and it didn't make it to a second season.
Yeah, what they might be better off doing with the Muppets is bringing it to the Disney Channel in the mornings for preschoolers and let the audience build with the preschoolers and parents. So when they get older, you've got that built-in audience, and then take it from there. So it would be a slow process. That might work, but that's, that takes years to cultivate that.
Well, yeah, I don't know that they're going to. They don't want to invest that much time.
Yep.
They want to see that the payoff is coming faster to know whether to.
Oh, absolutely. And look at most of the Muppet fans. They're, I want to say they're 40 and above.
Right. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm looking. There is no room behind anything with the Muppets there to really build anything. However, what can we do over by the magic of Disney Animation? They don't use it anymore.
Oh, in the animation courtyard.
That whole courtyard area.
Yeah. Well, you've got the Little Mermaid stage show.
Gone. Isn't it?
That area there.
So that whole area could be
that has not come back
somehow. No, and neither is their whatever they're calling the Disney Morning Live on Stage show.
Has anybody heard why it's not coming back? At first, it was because of COVID. They didn't want people so close and the actors on stage, and not actors on stage, but
well, they were actors.
Yeah. So is that just another case of the attraction going stale? I don't know. I hadn't seen it in so long. Was it still really popular? Is it?
I think it was probably a combination. It's certainly a stale. I mean, relatively speaking, a stale show. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
89,
and with the actors close together, are there any stage shows? Are there any stage shows with all the actors like that close together?
Just Indiana Jones that comes back this week.
This week, okay.
Yeah. Well, Darlene, thank you for joining us half hour into the show.
I know. I'm sorry. Traffic was a little heavy in the Orlando area. There was a 3-car accident on the way home.
Okay, we can discuss that later. We've already gotten off topic quite a bit.
Oh, no. What surprise is that?
Yeah.
But at least I'm dressed for the show. I wore my Eeyore shirt. I like the idea that they had Doc McStuffins and stuff there. I think they should expand more for smaller children.
So keep the Playhouse Disney area, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there isn't a lot there for young kids anymore.
No.
They could.
No.
They got rid of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area.
Right.
The Star Wars meet and greets are done over in Galaxy's Edge now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to see them. They're not going to take them all the way over there.
No.
People will be confused by that. But you could easily, that could be it could be an area for little kids.
Well, I find a lot of young children congregating in Toy Story Land, and with good reason because of what's there.
Yeah, you've got Slinky Dog, Toy Story,
Mhm.
and the Minion, or not the Minions, the monsters, little three-eyed monster
The
guys.
aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
But is that
Alien
enough
busters.
for young children, and is that what they want to go for? It's Fantasmic. It's the same thing with rides for little ones because you want the whole family included.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like Regal Eagle. I've been there a couple of times.
Oh,
And it's
I do
been
too.
great.
Oh, I
That's
do
my
too.
Muppet Show reference. You got a minute and a half. Ah!
Ah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they would do there if they ever do something there. What would you replace Little Mermaid with? Sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have a big enough show building to put a big attraction in there, so
No,
it would probably have to be another stage show.
unless
Yeah,
you gut it and do
Well,
something else.
you can gut that entire area, really,
Yeah.
is the point.
Well, yeah, that's a big gutting.
Hey, did you see how they made Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, well,
They
and do you think
gutted a
they're in
lot.
any hurry? Do you think they're in any hurry to take on another one of those projects?
I hope
Oh,
not, because
God.
the
No,
price,
they're not.
we won't even talk about ticket prices, so go on.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of ties into the discussion we've had about a fifth gate. When do fifth gate? I'm not saying they're going to, but when would they, look at a fifth gate versus redoing an entire area of a park? Oh no, I'm not saying we should.
But I agree with you. I know where you're going with that, and I do agree with you.
Yeah.
what about putting something like inside?
Yeah, I think when the time is right, we will see that whole area reconstructed or reconfigured. But I think we're years off from that happening, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
They've got too many other projects going on now, and we're still in a pandemic, so they're not going to know. Yes, the crowd levels in the parks right now are insane. Is it going to continue like this forever? Probably not. At some point, it's going to level out and adjust as we adjust to things going forward.
Now, help me out with this. You said the crowd levels are really high.
Oh God,
are they really high, or are they just getting back to where they were normally this time of year that we haven't seen in 2 years?
Yeah, that's probably more like it.
Got my shot. I got my booster. I'm going to go.
But the Delta surge had come and gone, so to speak. Not that it's gone; it's not gone, but
now we have a new variant. Now, with saying that, we all know that Universal has put into place mask wearing everywhere you are, starting from the queue line all the way through the exit. There isn't an option to not wear a mask in the line. You have to wear a mask in the line all the way through, no matter what you are, if you're vaccinated, non-vaccinated.
Correct.
So I mean, Disney's been like that their whole time. Universal has not been. Universal had been open mask, since July. So we're placing it back in. That's where I think we're going to
see are these. Everybody's going to set their own policies, but basically these business, and they are pandemic or not, because they need to make money.
They need to make money, and people, they need the people to come. Yeah.
Yep. And they want people to feel safe. Well, I shouldn't say first. They want them in there, and they want them to feel safe. They want to. they want their cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
But
if we put it anywhere, because we have Starbucks right across the street, we can't really put it right on the the main strip. You'd have to put it towards maybe going towards Sunset Strip, or going towards Galaxy's Edge by like the Vine restaurant and over that way.
Oh, Hollywood and Vine?
Hollywood and Vine, yeah.
Hollywood and Vine's on the other end.
Well, it's kind of down and going towards...
You're talking about Backlot Express?
No, not Backlot Express. It's that little alleyway where they have the cart where you can get drinks and stuff. It's like right near, it's like that one corner where you're turning back on where all the shops are and you've got the cart with the beer and everything. It's kind of like a little nook over there. That would be a nice spot, like if they could fit in something right there for the fudge shop. Because you don't need a big shop for the fudge shop.
No, you don't. You know what I'd like to see the ABC whatever they're calling it, the commissary. Yeah, gone. Goodbye. Keep a restaurant there. Just change the menu. But I've had other things there. I've had salads there. I've had what else have I had
I'm
there?
pretty sure I had the buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich, and I enjoyed that. That was good.
That sounds good. As long as it doesn't have blue cheese on it, I'm good.
No, it's got it's buffalo chicken, Monterey provolone, cheddar, and cream cheese, served with a side of buffalo sauce and your choice of a side.
Very good. I'll have to get that next time.
I enjoyed it, and now it's very messy.
It sounds
messy, but it sounds very good. Me, the Buffalo girl, anyway. So.
Yeah. Stuart, something that I would like to see as a Christmas present in Disney's Hollywood Studio is something themed to Nightmare Before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And something I think that they might be able to do. I love the
Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, because they can project on the Tower of Terror like they do all at Christmas.
But you could even do a holiday overlay to Tower of Terror inside the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
True.
They could,
like they did in Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could do that. That would be pretty cool. Pretty.
Either that or the Muppets.
I'd like to see them do a Haunted Mansion Muppet overlay for Halloween.
That would be cool.
We saw them. We talked earlier about the Haunted Mansion with the Muppets this year. So kind of turn and make.
Yeah. And please don't anybody say bring Horizons back. We've heard that enough, and I love Horizons. John, what's like the number one thing you would want to see them do in Epcot?
I already gave mine earlier.
You did. How about you, Kurt?
Take the walls down.
Well, they'll come down eventually.
Well, just get the central core.
Just to figure out where I'm walking. Yeah.
Yes, complete construction.
I just want to know where I'm walking at.
World discovery and world nature.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get that. It's just taking time.
Right.
But we will
okay.
Yep.
Time out. Okay. They announced on the news today that they did take down a number of walls overnight.
Woo woo!
Nice.
They released a new fountain.
Oh.
I will not know until
I won't be back there till January sometime.
As soon as I know, I will post pictures on the Fan Zone Facebook page so you guys can all see it.
Doing Epcot. If you could pick one interest in Australia, but who knows?
I just don't want a country of Australia put into Animal Kingdom, considering it's got like the 10 deadliest animals in the world all living there. So I don't want to see that. So when we talked about redoing Dino Land, keep Australia out of that area. However, dining wise, toss that into Australia. We'll get some boomerangs for sale. See people throw them around in the across the world showcase and stuff. But I'd like Australia in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, what I'd like to see for a Christmas present is redo the entire Journey to Imagination Pavilion. New show. And either go back to the original or do a completely new show.
What show would you put in there, though?
Oh God,
it's gotta involve Figment.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep Figment, go back to the original with it's
with the
just gotta go back to the original
or reimagine.
I know. Look at that cute little puppy.
He's not so little.
He is a lot smaller than my Lou. Yeah, they could do that. They could bring Sadness outside. Then they could bring.
I've seen her outside before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
I think I've only seen her once. I've seen Joy and Winnie the most.
Does Sadness have a little cloud follower over top?
It was raining that day, so maybe that's why.
Could have been.
Yeah, at one time I thought a Wall-E type 3D short would be great in there, but that time is come and gone, I think.
Yeah.
He would be great to walk around there. That you can just say that and that and that and that and that.
Okay.
That way,
you know what the line would be like for that?
I don't care. I'm hungry. I want my.
By the time you got your fixins, your burger would be ice cold.
Put it in the microwave like they did before.
Oh.
I take that back. They do not use a microwave, unlike Burger King pops them in the microwave when they're warming them up. But I do not think Disney does.
Yeah, a no to your idea, Kurt. But thank you for your
shoot me down. That's okay. Good night, everybody. I'll see you later.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom's tough because there's so much in the Magic. They could do that overnight, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see them do something with where Stitch's Great Escape is. I know Stuart wants Stitch to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, Stuart, but it's a theater in the round. You could do something in there. There's your Marvel theme.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, they're jumping all over the place now, anyways, with Marvel.
Well, once Disney would have to use characters that aren't licensed to Universal,
right?
Which they've got a lot.
They've got a lot now.
They do now.
They've got a lot now.
Here's an out of the box thought. What I'd like to see Disney give us as a Christmas present. They've purchased so many different franchises. I want them to purchase DC and make it great again.
Nah, not when they got Marvel.
Oh, but it's two separate things. It's like, you can be a Marvel fan and a DC fan. You don't have to pick one over the other.
Yeah. So what you're saying that it would really be expanded. They did it.
Yeah, and then look at all the attractions they could get out of that.
California.
Yeah, so we got to get Spider-Man back from Sony too.
Yeah.
What's this Wii stuff? I'm sorry, Disney and Marvel have to get Spider-Man back from Sony. Which
yeah, I think that's more likely to happen sooner than Universal. But hey, you know what? Those attractions in Universal, they can't last forever. They can try to keep them going for forever, but they can't last forever.
They can't retheme them either, can they?
No, they can't. They cannot update them. They can fix them. They can prop them up, but they cannot retheme them.
So that's Spider-Man?
The outdated Spider-Man?
Well, no. Spider-Man is Sony from a movie perspective.
No, but to get it over from the park, there would be Spider-Man. What other attractions? Don't they have a Hulk coaster?
They have Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
The X-Men. What else do they have?
Don't they have? Is Captain America walking around or something?
Years ago, maybe 9.
Well, they've had Thor and Loki at Disneyland. I would think
they have Spider-Man at Disneyland too.
That's on the west side, though.
Here's what I'm saying. If they could have had Loki in Walt Disney World, they would have already done it in conjunction with the show on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, can we please? We're talking about stage shows. I do not want to see the stage show that they're showing on Hawkeye right now.
Oh, did you guys see the finale of Hawkeye?
No.
Yes,
I
did.
No.
Yes.
Muting. No.
Yes.
Awesome. That's all I'm gonna say.
I told my son who's like, I really don't want to watch any more of the Marvel movies or the Marvel shows, or I'm like, this is the one you need to watch. This is, of all the Disney Plus miniseries that they've done, Hawkeye is the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Great finale.
Yes, I agree.
I have loved all of the Disney Plus Marvel series that they've had on.
It's been great. And Stuart, when New York exploded at the end, when he did the nuke bomb.
Stop!
WandaVision. This kicks ass on WandaVision.
I don't think they're going to do anything Star Wars related because they've got so much committed over to.
It would be a good walk DHS, to use something from Disney Plus that they're able to show and theme something from one of the new Marvel shows.
But the licensing is just too complex. I mean, they've got Avengers Campus out on the West Coast. There are not Marvel attractions at Disney World
yet.
Well, that's the point. So getting to the point where we can have a Marvel attraction in Disney World would be a great
Epcot. Yeah, it's opening up in 2021. Guardians.
Right, but it's not here. We don't have it yet.
We don't have it yet.
But having one,
working on it,
coming.
But having
coming
one
to a theater near you,
as broad as the Marvel universe is, having one
is not enough.
All I said was I want something.
If you decide to do that.
Yeah. See, Nemo, they're retheming as it is. So Nemo's going to be, when it reopens, it is going to be themed differently. So I think that could stay because that theater was built basically for stuff like that. I think we should retheme all of Dino Land and put in like trees and stuff like that. And we could bring in like Tarzan and that and Jane, and maybe do something because it is teaching. Jane taught. She was into all that stuff. So we could do something with that with the children and still keep it.
And I want to throw that all out and put in a Beastly Kingdom theme over there.
Is there enough room for that?
We'll make it fit.
Well, if you redid all of Dino Land, I think you could.
Right. And I don't think